The secret to weight loss is change. Here's what I mean. And we are live. Welcome back to the Rosabeth Moon Motivation Podcast, Season 1, Episode 9. How's everybody doing? How are you doing today? My name is Michaela Rosabeth, and I'm going to be your host for today's episode. And I'll be completely honest, I'm doing pretty well. This is a video that I genuinely thought that I would never be able to publish because I had always had food trauma and body trauma and a whole bunch of, trauma around my body and body image. And I finally can say that I have lost 86 pounds and I'm keeping it off. Not only that, but I'm also still on my weight loss journey and actively losing more weight through these tips. So let's jump right into it. What am I talking about? Anyways, this is the secret to weight loss. The secret is change. Here's what I changed to lose 86 pounds and keep it off. I began by identifying the hurtful and helpful habits we talked about in episode 8 and how they connect to my trauma. One of the hurtful habits that I identified that I was doing was I was eating 6,000 to 8,000 empty calories a day. And what that means is that I would have breakfast, lunch, dinner, extra breakfast, extra lunch. You would never see me without food. I had to get food in my system. And the thing is that I was telling myself that I was hungry. I was telling myself that I needed this food. I was convinced that my trauma and my body story and the things that I have been told about myself were true. I was convinced that I was fat. I was convinced that I was extra obese and that there was nothing I could do with it because I grew up poor and I had to have help with food. And, I had believed all of that well into my adulthood where I'm not poor. I'm not scarce. I am beautiful. I have the ability to help my body. So I had to look at these habits that I was doing, these really hurtful habits, and I had to change them because I came to the understanding that the only way for me to change and become who I want to be is to actively change what I'm doing towards my body. My active actions are causing my body to be this way. It is my fault. Once I had identified this, that it was my fault, I started writing down helpful habits that I could put into place, right? So here's the main three things that I changed that are going to be amazing for people who are beginning a weight loss journey, especially if you have trauma around food, your body image, etc., etc. So the number one thing that I changed was I stopped restricting myself and instead I started adding things. So what do I mean, right? Here's the science. When you add stuff to your system, right? When you start adding things into your body actually starts seeing these things as rewards because you're adding it to it. So now it's going to start craving it. So it's called the addition method. And what I started doing was I started adding one vegetable a meal. I told myself that I can still eat processed food. I can still eat cake. I can still do and eat whatever I absolutely want. That's perfectly fine. I have to have one vegetable a meal. I have to. And that was my boundary with myself that I was setting because at that time I had no vegetables in my system, but I had tried every single diet on the entire market. And I knew that if I just immediately switched to all vegetables that it was going to fail like it has every single time before. This time I wasn't going to do that. The only thing I'm going to change is that I am adding a vegetable. So I did. I started getting one vegetable on a burger. And then I started getting multiple vegetables on things. And then what it led to was I started loving vegetables. And I was like, oh, this works. So then I used the addition method on water. I never drank water. I'll be honest, I was one of those people. I didn't drink water up until I think that I turned 20, right? Whenever I started losing this weight. And that's when I started drinking water. So what I would do, and I still do this method, is I have my water here, and I still have some type of soda because I do love soda. Well, now I'm able to drink water and soda, and I can still get both. And it worked. And now I drink a gallon of water a day. And I've started being able to drink water more than soda because my brain is craving it because I added it into it. So tip number 1 to change is to start adding, stop restricting. Start adding one healthy thing in, don't restrict anything else. Soon enough, what'll happen is your brain will completely end up switching and you'll start craving the stuff that you've added in more and more and more. Awesome. Tip number 2, figure out what was causing my body pain and what was actually helping it. This is critical to changing. Of course, everybody says, change your diet. It's all about your diet. Your diet's the reason that you're X, Y, and Z. That is true to an extent. Of course, we know this. So what I decided to do was start adding, right? This was the point where I had finally gotten to a handle on my body, and I was now drinking water. I was now eating plenty of vegetables. But my stomach was still really hurting, like really bad. This was the point where I realized that my body has definitely not necessarily given up on me, but she is trying her best. She's doing everything that she can to hold on to life, right? Because I'm still pouring stuff in her body that hurts. So I did the elimination diet. Okay. Here's what I mean. This is something that's going to be incredibly important for you to change, which is your diet, yes, but it's not, it works for everybody type of deal. The elimination diet is where you take a food group and you eliminate it from your diet for a set amount of days, and you see if it helps your stomach feel better. And then after so many days, you add it back into your diet. If it hurts you, something in your body hates that. You might be allergic to it. You might not be able to fully digest it. Something's going on. So what I did was I knew the primary 3, right? Which was gluten, dairy, and nightshades. Nightshades are like tomatoes and onions, those types of things. I knew that those were the 3 main. So what I did was I chopped those 3 out of my diet for 21 days. I'm going to tell you, this was the hardest thing I have ever done in my life because I love dairy. I love me some ice cream and I love me some just really good fondue, right? I love me some dairy. And so the first week while I was doing this, my body had a huge fit. It really was extra craving it. And I just had to keep reminding myself that, Michaela, I'm the one in control. I'm not letting my trauma affect my life anymore. Instead, I'm now going to be able to heal my body. We're doing this for the betterment. I think I said this in one of the last episodes, but it's just my favorite quote of all time. It's when you do something, even though it's hard, because you know the end result is worth it, that's power. You're powerful. If you give into it and you say, actually, I don't care about my body. I'm going to eat all this stuff and I'm going to hurt it forever, do it. Then that's fine. You shouldn't be on this video. The people and you that are watching this video, you have the power and the ability to get control of your diet and of your food and take control of your life. And I know that because I did it. And I've tried everything. And this is what worked for me. So, tip 2, try an elimination diet once you have figured everything out. Also, the only side note I'll say is make sure you're getting the right vitamins during the elimination diet. When I cut out dairy, my vitamin D dropped insanely deep to 18%, which is really not good. And I had to get put on some really, really high vitamin D medicine right afterwards because, vitamin D is really important for your body. make sure you get the right vitamins and eliminate what's hurt your body. And then the last tip is find mobility and exercises and movements that you love. Here's what I mean. In high school, I played tennis. I went on to the North Carolina Tennis Championship. I was really into it. I really loved running. Graduated high school, let all my trauma affect me. I got up to 320 pounds. Okay. And that's fine. That's completely valid. I completely stopped working out. I completely stopped moving. The only moving that I did was from couch to couch, from fast food place to fast food place. And that's fine. That's how I was living. I'm not judging myself. But I did realize that my body not only necessarily hurt from the food, it probably was also hurting because I wasn't moving it. So I did what the most people do, right? I hired workout coaches after workout coaches, and every single workout I cried. I had a breakdown, like a huge breakdown, and to the point where I'm doing crunches, crying and breaking down in the floor. That's not for me. Clearly those workouts aren't for me. So I got a list of beginner workouts, and I started really focusing and honing in on which ones that I actually preferred. And the number one workout that I would recommend for people with any type of body trauma or that are just getting into working out or just getting into losing weight are mobility exercises. I'm going to do a future video on this topic completely and thoroughly because I have had some followers reach out to me asking and requesting for it. That said, mobility workouts in a shorter, simpler version for this episode are workouts where you start to become mobile. So here's what I mean. You can move your arm completely across your body and you can stretch it. You can take your hand and you can move it from side to side, and you're getting all of these really good muscles active and going. You touch your toes, spread your legs, then try to touch your toes. You can try to bend your neck. That's how I fixed the knot in my neck, was neck mobility exercises. Your feet are incredibly important. And feet mobility is the same as your hands, essentially where you go from the sides to the sides and you go front to back, and then you create the alphabet letters with them. What it's doing is you're creating your muscles and the ligaments in your body to slowly waken up and to slowly be like, okay, I might have been not necessarily asleep, but kind of working just a little bit. Now I'm going to be able to start working more and more. And I promise you, as you continue doing these mobility exercises, you will start adding in more. I started with mobility. Now I do Pilates and I do body weight strengthening workouts because my ligaments and my muscles now can handle it because I started super small. Remember, it's about adding things and telling yourself that you can do this. It's not about restricting yourself from doing things, except restricting yourself from what hurts your body, because you don't want to do anything that hurts you, okay? If you throw a fit, that's completely acceptable. That's fine. I threw fits literally every single day until my body reset itself. I'm like, okay, I see what we're doing. Now I feel better. And I can say that through finding the workouts that I love, through figuring out what caused my body pain with the elimination diet, and through the addition method, I have lost 86 pounds. Woo! I'm still going. I'm still trekking. I feel so good. I now feel like I can finally do things in my life, and food is not a problem. Working out is not a problem. Taking care of my body, not a problem. So, please make sure to tell me in the comments which one of these really works for you, which one of them doesn't. I'm really curious to know, have you tried any of these? Do you have any tips? Do you have any tricks? Do you have any dislikes? Tell me all of it in the comments below. We have launched our Moon Magic Botanicals over at rosabethmoon.com. It's an organic, natural, homemade skincare line by me, by Rosabeth Moon, LLC. And those are available at rosabethmoon.com. And remember, like, follow, subscribe, hit the bell, share, all of the above to my channel. It really, really does help me grow and continue providing content like this for you guys full time. Remember, you have the power of choice. You can change your body. You are the one in control. You can become healthy to the version that you want. You can do it. And I truly believe in you. I do want to take a moment to apologize about last week's schedules mishaps. Long story short, all of my SD card completely erased, and then my filming files corrupted on my computer, so they weren't able to be accessed, and then my shop code failed, and then it was just one thing after another kept going wrong, and I really just had to take a step back to look in myself and see what is going on so I can make sure to provide the best content for you possible, because I'm here for you, I'm here for me, and I'm here for you. I love what I do, and I love sharing it, and I love the feedback that I get. So please make sure to come see me back in tomorrow's episode. Remember, you have the power of choice. You can change your body if you believe it, and I believe in you. My name again is Michaela Rosabeth, and this is the Rosabeth Moon Motivation Podcast. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.